Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you've ever worked with large or complex drawings in AutoCAD, you know that extracting the right data can save you tons of time and help you organize your project more efficiently. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through how to extract data from an AutoCAD drawing. Whether you're looking to pull out object information or attribute data, I'll show you how to do it quickly and accurately using AutoCAD's built-in tools. So, if you're ready to automate your data collection and make your workflow more efficient, stick around. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to extract valuable data and use it in your projects. Let's get started. In order to show how to use the data extraction tools, I did some legwork before the video began. I created several blocks for this drawing that have attributes inside of them. And if I go into the block editor, for example, I'll come into the block editor, you'll see that I can come in here and I can choose this desert willow tree, for example, and it has several attributes in it that tell me some information. This desert willow, there's an attribute for the botanical name, how much water it uses, the mature diameter of the tree, the mature height of the tree, and whether the foliage is deciduous or evergreen. And placing those into the drawing before is going to help me speed up my process later. Because one of the things that you might need is you might need a legend of all of the trees, and all of that information can be embedded into the drawing so that you don't have to try to extract it and remember what it is later. So if I put it in the drawing once and I use it as a block, then all of that information will be embedded in this drawing and in every other drawing that I use in the future, and creating maybe some information tree or information about those trees will be very easy to do. So let's get started with our data extraction tools. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to access the data extraction tool. So I'll type in data extraction, and it brings up this dialog box that says, hey, let's begin the process of several steps. Now, looking at this, I'm going to be creating a new data extraction, but if this drawing already had a data extraction in it, I could simply update it. So for example, you might think, how do I need to update a data extraction? Well, maybe I added more trees, or maybe I took some out, or perhaps I had wanted more data in each of those blocks. Like instead of just the 5 attributes, I could put other attributes in there that might need to be in there. So, but for the purpose of this, I'm going to be creating a new extraction, so I'll choose next. It's going to prompt me now for where do I want to save this data extraction, and I'm just going to put it on my desktop so that I know where it is, and I'll give it a name. I'll just call it data extraction example. You can call it anything you want. It's going to give it this DXE file, and it's important that you know where that is. Now, in real life, I usually have a folder for all of my DXE files so that AutoCAD knows where those are, and if I ever need to get to that information, I can do that as well. I'll choose Save. And then I can choose, next thing I can do is I can choose, do I want to include the current drawing? Well, of course I do in this case. But I also have the option of adding additional drawings. Notice over here on this side, it says Add Drawings. So perhaps I've got several drawings XREF'd into this drawing, and I want to be able to get all of the information out of those drawings as well, because perhaps I'm going to bind them together later on. So it allows me to not just look at this drawing, but as many other drawings as might be related to this project. For now, I just need this one because it's just a standalone project, and I'll choose Next. So then it goes through and it looks at all of the objects in your drawing, and you'll see that there are lots of different types of objects and information that can be included in here. Now, for the purposes of this video, I'm looking at my blocks, and I'm looking at those blocks with attributes. So I'm going to say, okay, I don't want to display all of my object types. I'm going to uncheck that box, and then notice down here I've got 2 options: display blocks only or display non-blocks. Well, again, for the purposes of this, I'm looking at those blocks because that's the thing that I want to extract out of the information. And then over here I can say display blocks with attributes only, or display blocks with or objects currently in use. And if I had other trees that were not inserted into the drawing, I wouldn't want it to consider those. So I'm just going to use this one right here. By the way, these are check boxes, so I can uncheck or check both of them. So now notice that at this point I have several blocks on the screen okay, that have some information in there. But again, I don't necessarily want all of these blocks. For example, I don't care about my border block, okay, and if I come down here a little bit further, I don't care about the title block. But if I only want the trees, then I don't want the lily turf and the lantana and the kangaroo paw. So I'm going to go through here and deselect the objects that I don't want to be included in this data extraction. And so the bottle brush is the only other one. So now I'm left with the blocks that actually have information in them, okay, and are in there. And oh, I don't want kangaroo paw. I'm going to deselect that one. So I've got my trees now that have that information in there. And then I can choose next again. So now the next thing that we have here is this is all of the information about those blocks. And it has everything that you could think of. Where is the insertion point? What's the title of it? It has layer information. But I don't need all of that for the purposes of my legend that I'm going to put up here. So coming over here on the left-hand side, I can filter this. I don't care about 3D visualization. I do want the attribute data, so I'm going to leave that one checked. I don't care about drawing information like lines and circles and endpoints and that kind of stuff. General information I don't care about. Geometry I don't care about. And then miscellaneous I don't care about. So this leaves me with the attributes that are included in all of those blocks. Now if I look carefully, one of them has this EST code, and I don't want that one either, so I'm going to uncheck that box. So now I'm going to get a table of information that has the botanical name, the diameter of the tree, the foliage, the height, and so on. I can choose next. And then what it does is it gives me a list of all of those trees and all of the data that's along with it, along with a count. That's going to be something valuable for me because now I can extract that data, I can send it off to billing or ordering, and I can say I need 6 of these, I need 8 of these, I need 12 of these. And it's only counting the blocks in the drawing. So I know I'm going to get an accurate count. If you have a large drawing that spans several sheets, imagine using that highlighter and going through and counting all the trees and then missing one or missing 2 or 3 or more. Or actually maybe the worst case would be ordering too many and then having to pay for those. Down here we have some checkbox. Of course we want to combine the identical rows, because then instead of getting 6 rows with desert willow, we get 1 row with a count of 6. I do want to show the count, that's important information, and I do want to show the name. This is the name of the block, and that's important to me because I've given it the common name for the name of the block, and the botanical name was one of those attributes that I inserted in there. Now other things that I can do here is I can rearrange these a little bit. So for example, if I wanted the height and the diameter right next to each other, I could simply move them around like this, okay? And if I want the water use, over here, I can move those around. So you can move those columns and you can put them wherever you want them so that they show how they're supposed to look. Notice that I do have iceberg rose, and iceberg rose isn't a tree, and I don't want that one in there. So I'm just going to go back, and I'm going to go back a couple times, and I'm going to deselect my iceberg rose, and then I can proceed back to forward again and forward again. And now I've only got my trees. So I've got desert willow, Japanese, blueberry, olive, and dwarf southern magnolia. By the way, if I want to do something like put these in alphabetical order, you can click right here on name. It will put them in alphabetical order. If I click on it again, it puts them in reverse alphabetical order, in case that's important to you. Maybe it makes it easier. So now at the next point, we're going to choose next. And it's going to ask me, do I want to insert this as a table in the drawing, or do I want to output it as an external file, such as an Excel file? You can do both. Okay, so if I click both of these, it's going to prompt me for where I want to save it as a, what kind of file, as an Excel file or a comma delimited file or whatever it happens to be. That one is a handy one that if you have somebody who's going to do your ordering, They don't have to look at the drawing. They can simply pull up an Excel spreadsheet. So that's something to be aware of. I'm going to deselect that box because I just want to insert it into the drawing itself. And then I can choose next. The next thing it's going to ask me for is the data or the table style. Now again, I did some legwork before the video started, and I created this table style that has architectural, fonts and that kind of stuff and spacing that's appropriate for this type of a drawing. If you didn't do that, you can use this button right here and it will take you to the table style editor. You can create your table style while you're in this workflow. And then I'll choose next, and it says okay, click finish to complete the data extraction. So I'll say finish, and now what you can see is I have let me turn off my ortho here. I have a data table that I can put into my drawing, and I'm just going to put it anywhere. It doesn't really matter for me right now. I'll just put it right there, and you'll see that it comes in and it gives me all of that information about all of those trees. Now if I come in here and I need to put a title in here, so I'll say this is master tree list, which is no problem. But if I want to come in and edit these other ones, like botanical name, you notice it's got the underscore in there, because when you put a tag into an attribute, you can't leave any spaces. So I had to put an underscore there. Well, I don't want that in my form here. So if I try to click in there, notice that I get the little lock saying, hey, this form has been locked. I can't come in here and edit it. But I can unlock it. In fact, I want to unlock all of these. So I'm going to click in count, and I'm going to hold my shift key and click in foliage. Then if I right click, I can come down here to locking and choose unlocked. So now these are unlocked cells. I can come in and I can say, okay, I want this to say, like quantity, and then I'm going to put them all in caps. So this one needs to say name in all caps. And then the rest of them I just want to clean up a little bit. So I don't want the underscore botanical name, and I don't want the underscore here for water use. So there we go. So now there we are. That's the complete list. Again, it is an intelligent list though. If I go back in and I make changes to my drawing, I add other trees, I subtract trees, whatever it happens to be, I can redo this data extraction and I can make it think about it and update this. Now, one last thing I can do is I can also add the image of these trees into this form. So if I wanted to add that image right here, I'm going to click into the form, I'll click right here, I'll right click and say let's insert a column on the right hand side. Now again, these are locked. You'll notice the badge next to my crosshairs showing that it's locked. So again, I'll just hold the shift key down and I'll right click and I will unlock these. And then I can say, okay, my symbol here is, I'll do it in all caps, YMBOL, okay. My symbol for this desert willow tree, I want to include that in here so that people can recognize it and know which tree is which. So I'll right click in this box, I'll come down here to insert block, and then I'm going to find my desert willow block. Okay, there it is. And what I want to do is I don't want to auto fit this. I want to tell it what the scale is so that it matches what's here. Now, I have kind of a strange scale for this right here. It's 1 inch is equal to 30 feet. And so my scale ends up being 0.0028. That's 1 inch is equal to 30 feet because it's 1 divided by 360. And my orientation in this box, I'm just going to say, how about middle center? And we'll say OK. And now you'll see that it updates this. It puts that, that tree, okay, that symbol right there is my tree. And the cool thing about it is this one right here is not inserted into the drawing, so it's not going to affect the total count. The count would still be 6 if I do my data extraction. You could go through and you could repeat that same process for your other trees or anything else. And again, if I redo my data extraction and just tell it to update it, it's going to go through and update it all, and it saves me a lot of time and a lot of hassle. So I hope this has been helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. I look forward to next time.